Hey everyone. So, I'm not one to usually use the referees as an excuse or to blast officiating or, to really jump on the refs and complain about the refs all the time. But at this point in the NHL playoffs, by now, the, I gotta say something, and I'm not going to talk about specific incidents or calls or non-calls because I don't want to make it seem like I'm biased towards a team or something. I'm just going to talk about the officiating in general in these playoffs, and it has been atrocious. Absolutely despicable officiating so far, and it's not just for one team. It's not just in one series. It is every single series. It's almost every single game. The officiating has just been pathetic. Um, Throughout the league, just absolutely horrible in these playoffs. I, I don't even know where to begin. I mean, I get it that refs aren't perfect and they're never going to be, and there's every once in a while a ref has a really tough night, and that happens to everybody: refs, players, coaches, anyone who ever has played hockey or has had anything to do with hockey has had rough nights here and there, and it's totally understandable and it's fine. But it's not just like these refs are having a rough night every once in a while. It is every freaking game. They are horrendous. Every game. I can't think of any game that I've watched so far in these playoffs where I've come out and thought, wow, those refs did a really good job. Or there wasn't some penalty call during the game that I was like, that's not a penalty. I cannot believe they're calling that. Or on the other hand, which we've seen a lot of is how did they not call that? That's a blatant penalty. Um, it's just absolutely ridiculous, and the league should be embarrassed. The NHL should be absolutely embarrassed about their officiating because this is the time of year when you have more people than ever watching hockey. The NHL playoffs are, I think, the greatest thing in all of sports, but they are now being ruined by terrible officiating. And you have more people now watching hockey than ever watch it in the regular season. You should be showcasing the greatness of the sport and how incredibly entertaining and exciting it is, especially in the playoffs. And all people are getting to see is garbage officiating and phantom calls out of nowhere, blatant penalties being missed. And the league should be absolutely embarrassed because they look awful in this. The refs look awful, and the league as a whole looks awful. There's no excuse for it. There's no reason for the officiating to be this bad. I know a lot of the old time, really experienced refs have retired over the last few years, and that certainly hurt the officiating pool as a whole. But you've got enough refs in there who have been around a long time that it should not be this bad. I mean, Wes McCauley has been refereeing NHL hockey for a long time. Dan O'Halloran's been around for a long time. Kelly Sutherland, Francois Saint Laurent has been around for a while now. Chris Rooney has been around for a number of years now. These guys are veteran officials who should know how to call a hockey game. And they've all called games in the playoffs, too. It's just, there is no need for the officiating to be this bad. You have veteran officials who should know what they're doing, and they just don't. And it's really inexcusable, and it's really, I still think the playoffs have been really good to watch, but it's certainly put a dent in how good these playoffs have been. It has not helped at all, this terrible officiating. And like I said, it's not like they're just screwing one team or it's only like a one-sided thing. It is just across the board for everybody. It's just been terrible, and it's so frustrating as a fan to have to watch it. Um, things that are blatant penalties just not being called, things that aren't even close to penalties being called for some reason. Um, just overall, the officiating has left a lot to be desired, and the league has to do something about it because they are making themselves look really, really bad on a national stage. Um, these playoff games are played on national television all playoffs long, whether it's NBC or NBCSN here in the States, or CBC and Sportsnet in Canada. Like, these games are for out there for everyone to see, and you should be showcasing how great hockey is and how great playoff hockey is at this time, but instead all you're seeing is terrible officiating. So the league really needs to do something about this. I don't know what to do, what they should do. Maybe have like some off-season program for these officials to relearn what's a penalty and what's not, or I don't even know. It's just been pathetic, and yeah, it's across the board just bad. Every game I'm looking at the officiating and going, these guys are awful, and it's every single night. So I normally don't want to just rip on refs like this all the time, but we're deep into the second round now, and it's been all playoffs long, and I'm sure it's going to continue. We're too deep in now for anything major to change, probably. So it's probably going to be like this for the rest of the playoffs, unfortunately. It's pathetic and it's inexcusable, and something needs to be done about it. So, like, comment, share, subscribe, follow on social media. Check out offthewallhockey.com. All those links are in the description below. Help this channel to grow. Spread the word. Tell your friends all about it. I'd love to see that subscriber count keep climbing up to 122 now. So thank you to everyone who's subbed. If you haven't subbed, please hit that subscribe button. And thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll talk to you soon.